So Gen Z is often labeled lazy. But according to one of the world's largest consulting firms, younger Americans' real problem is a lack of resilience. PwC is rolling out a resilience training program for their Gen Z employees, meant to help them better handle workplace pressure, like, facing criticism or learning office politics. The company says the issue isn't motivation or work ethic, it's an absence of human skills they believe were lost, during the pandemic. Okay, Lauren. Do you like, is this good? Do you like resilience training? Is it
it's
too
only
soft,
it's only for 6 months. I think it's needed. Gen Z is basically the online school kids. They grew up, they lived through the pandemic, always in front of the computer, maybe a little bit before we knew how bad social media was and everything. And while, as you noted, the study says they've got the skills that they need, they're smart enough, they have the drive, they just kind of don't know how to make that work in the real world. So let's harden them up a little bit. And you have to learn how to take criticism, how to be yelled at, how to thicken your skin.
Does PwC say everyone under the age of X has to sign up for this? Doesn't that kind of
Can you opt out, like prove that you're resilient in some way?
And then doesn't it kind of pit that generation against the other? And then are you just sitting in a training? I mean,
I think it's for all. I read it as being for all new hires.
I think it's probably because they probably don't want to come to you. If you're not resilient, come to you and say, you have a problem. No, I have a problem. What are you talking about?
Emotional regulation is a problem with that, some in that generation.
But so here's my question, Jackie. They say a lot of this stems from the pandemic. Maybe. Okay. But is it really the case that you're going to lose all your resilience during the pandemic? And is it even possible to give somebody resilience in a 6-month training at work? Like, are we misidentifying the problem?
You're basically asking me, what is the meaning of life?
What I'm saying is, what is the meaning of life, Jackie?
So I think we're going to find out. The pandemic came up in the food discussion that over the course of time, learning loss, the impact on people's mental health, the health impacts on your body are going to be far, far greater than anybody imagined. But this goes deeper than that. This goes back to what I was talking about, of a generation growing up with technology in a much different and arguably less healthy way.
See, that's what I'm getting at, like it's deeper, right?
And so I think that part of the lack of resilience is due to how they've been raised, how their brains function, and that sort of developmental aspect of it, which is why I'm so concerned about just generally where we're headed as a society with technology because of that dark side. The entitlement, the lack of resilience, there are so many different characteristics that come out of that that make you feel like kids today are out of touch with where we were.
Yeah.
So can I throw something at you? I feel like, I don't know how resilient I am, but whatever resilience I have, I think didn't really happen in a classroom. It happened on a football field, or sitting on the bench, or missing a big shot in a game, or maybe making a big shot in a game. But I don't think it was in a classroom, Lou. Can you do this in a classroom?
No, I think it's everyday life. And look, I'm admittedly biased against a program like this because I grew up in the generation, like many of us, is suck it up, Buttercup, right? Life's not fair. Get over it, right? Like, you hear these things where it's like you figure it out, but I think you put a finger on it's the absence of social interaction in a lot of ways that does not teach the soft skills, because instead of engaging in a conversation with your peers, you're on a device. I mean, I've seen that.
They're not playing football and riding bikes and hiking.
Well, they're also all getting, participation awards instead of having a winner and a loser and working through resiliency. Like, I didn't get the job promotion. Well, how do you handle that? What's your response?
Or the school's afraid to give you an F because they might hurt your feelings.
Because mom and dad will
call. And the school or the company or the parent or the coach has to say, you didn't get it because you weren't fast enough, because you weren't smart enough. Like, honesty. And the kid has to be able to absorb that and say, okay, this is what we can do together going forward to get you where you need to be.
And Brian, to your point, a little bit about how you learned resiliency, I think a lot of it has to do with being at home, what you're touching on as well, Lauren, which is when I come home and I have a disappointment, how do my parents address this with me? How do they tell me to move forward? You dust yourself off, you pick up, and you move forward. Instead, what we're doing now is we're coddling kids and we're not allowing that disappointment to happen. Therefore, they will never learn the resiliency to be able to bounce back from it.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to PwC for trying to do something about it, right?
So
I mean, 6 months. No, I mean, it's a tool, right?
Yeah.
Could it work? Could it be helpful? Absolutely. Is it needed? Yeah, probably.
they're
but-
Brian
shining a
told me
light
I
on
was
it.
crazy when I told my 2-year-old, like, put yourself to bed, figure it out. He was like, how dare you? She's 2. It's resilience training, Brian.
I still think that's crazy.
Like, you need sleep training.
Crazy.
It's independence.